when we're thinking about a job today, people of all ages are looking for more fulfillment. They're looking for a community. They're looking for a company that reflects their values. The name of my company is Lunaria Solutions, and what we do is we provide consultants, so DEI practitioners and organizations with the tools to launch and grow a diversity, equity, and inclusion initiative. I first saw an evaluation gap more broadly, and that was largely in the nonprofit space with impact evaluation. And then I really saw one subsection of that to go even deeper to something that is really just not localized to philanthropy, but all companies. And that was, okay, we have diverse sets of employees, we have folks from all kinds of experiences and identities, and we actually don't know how to create a space for all of them to work well together and to really be retained in our company for a long term, which is our ultimate goal. And so how might we then use evaluations and use data to fill that gap to first and foremost protect team members, but then also equip companies to really unite team members in a way that pushes them towards their ultimate organizational goals. It is no surprise that most companies right now are putting a lot of money towards diversity, equity, and inclusion. And you can look at it from a business side where if you're putting that much money towards something, you want to make sure it's towards something that's actually going to work. And then I think it's more of the larger picture where diversity, equity, and inclusion is only effective if it is driven by the employees it's meant to serve or the team members it's meant to serve. And so a solution like Lunaria Solutions helps a company make sure that their investment gets the return that they expect, but then also gives an avenue for employees to say, this is actually what I think it should look like, and I know because I'm working here every single day. The data that we collect at Lunaria Solutions really supports accountability. I think folks are sometimes tempted to check a box in terms of diversity, equity, and inclusion and really put their hands up and say, well, there's actually no way for us to tell if this is working, or it's something that people will just feel, and that really isn't the case. And I think over the last few years or even the last few months, although research that has been continuously coming out in support of diversity, equity, and inclusion really proves that, in that there is actually a way to quantify to the best of our abilities to really understand, if we do that workshop, are folks actually learning more about anti-racism? If a practitioner coaches a leader for 3 months, are they actually able to interweave inclusion and belonging into their practices? If we have a DEI policy, are people actually reading it and actually understanding how they're protected? So I think that our platform really gives those numbers to actions that I think have been categorized as more subjective in the past, and really puts an onus on companies that isn't always there without those metrics in place. When I first started the university, I largely just went to my classes. It wasn't really until my first co-op where I got that real work experience and started to imagine what I might do in my professional career. I did 3 co-op terms with companies, and then the 4th one I actually took one to work on my entrepreneurship journey at Greenhouse, one of the incubators on campus. It's not something that I really thought about until folks a little bit further along in their journey were speaking towards the idea that I create something within the resources of the university, and I'm then able to continue and pursue it moving forward. Right now, being in the Peace Incubator, this is actually the first place I went to when I thought, I have an idea and I don't know what to do. So I've now been a Peace Incubator participant for about 2 years now, and I am really lucky that I'm able to benefit from the unique community in here around other like-minded social impact entrepreneurs and really grow my idea alongside a larger community. I think a lot of folks, unfortunately, just go uncompensated, and that isn't always sustainable. In my case, a lot of the funding first helped me test some of my assumptions about the business and some of the ideas that I had, and also give me a little bit of leeway to both compensate myself and compensate the people giving their time towards what is now Lunaria. I think that part is really critical, especially for systematically excluded founders, so women, Black, Indigenous entrepreneurs, other minorities that are, I think, too frequently sold a rhetoric to undercut themselves or undervalue their work, or are just undervalued very broadly. Really just also illustrates some of those barriers for folks to explore entrepreneurship at all.